On today's show, we get down on tunes focusing on the pale blue dot spinning around the sun in this vast universe that we are insignificant of. On today's Six Picks Music Club. Welcome to Six Picks Music Club, a music podcast for people who recycle more bottles than newspaper. Hey listener, welcome back for a brand new episode of Six Picks Music Club, the music podcast where each episode we pick 6 songs based on a theme. Thanks for being part of the show and listening to our new episode every other Wednesday. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms, so tell your friends and help us grow the show. Like, subscribe, give us that 5-star review, and drop us a comment about your favorite tracks that we should listen to. Hit us up on social media and share that stuff. I'm Dave, and with me are 2 dudes who grew up as outside kids, Russ and Geoff. What's up, my guys? How's the week?
Dude, is this the Flat Earth app?
Flat? I don't subscribe to the Flat Earth theories.
Oh, is this a Round Earth episode?
Yes, the topic is earthy.
Okay, I could do that too. It doesn't matter. I could do both of them. Yeah. I'm actually pretty versatile on the question, you know? It's like...
He is a conspiracy theory theorist. Let's not forget. So
sometimes I throw paper, sometimes I throw rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll just go between them.
Never scissors, though?
No, I don't. Fuck scissors. Stick to the other 2.
Okay. Off to a great start.
All right.
We are locked out of the clubhouse here. Geoff, can you get us in the door? What's the password for the clubhouse this week?
That Earth is a hot Gaia.
Very good, very good. Hot Gaias all around. All right, listener, let's get in there. Come on in, find your spot.
So we are in Canada, and there's the tariff war is tipping off now, right? And
oh, right, yeah,
and so my mother-in-law is like lives in our house, and she's like, I'm getting rid of Amazon because of Jeff Bezos, and I was like, okay, and so she has deleted her Amazon account, right? And she's canceled it.
Good for her.
Okay, today, so. This was like a couple of days ago. Fast forward to today. We're having breakfast, and she goes, "My Alexa isn't working in my room." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Mother-in-law." I need to figure out something else to call her.
My mother-in-law.
Yeah, mother-in-law. I was like, "You canceled Amazon." She goes, "Oh, but it should still work." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was just so confused. She was like talking about her other daughter canceled Amazon and her Alexa still worked. And I was like, it doesn't even matter. You're boycotting Amazon. You shouldn't be using an Alexa. Like, what? That's the whole point. You know, that's part of your resistance is like, you should separate yourself from the products. So nighttime rolls around and then she goes, on our family text thread, what's your email and password for Amazon? To me. And then my wife goes, oh my God, you're joking. And she's like, I canceled Amazon. And she's like, yes, but it's Jeff's account, not mine. And so then her other daughter's like, Mom, what are you doing? And she goes, I canceled it, but I want to use Alexa. It's asking me for an email and password for Amazon. I just need a password. It doesn't have to be my own password. I'm still boycotting.
Oh, no, that's funny.
Yeah, and this is why you can't boycott Amazon. You need it too much. It raises a theoretical question for me. So she did cancel her own account. So if she leeches off of my account, is this an effective boycott for her? What do you think?
Is she going to be ordering stuff off of your account?
Yes, she will order it off of my partner's account.
Yeah, so at that point, I don't think so.
She's 70 plus. She's not going to go to the mall for every little thing that she needs. She has to order stuff. There's just no way.
Right.
So this is a pretty flaccid boycott in the end, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I saw a bunch of stuff on social about like, this week we're boycotting Target and this week we're doing that. And I was like, okay, let me know how that goes. I don't know. It's like, sure, I can not go to Target for a week. But like, what does that really do? I don't know. If you have everybody in the whole world, but like, even if you say like 50%, like half and half, we've got half for, half against, which is not what it is. But let's just say of those 50% that are like, oh yeah, I don't really like the tariff thing either. And like, I will not boycott, or I will boycott. Like maybe 10% of them actually do it, right? Or do you think it's more?
I don't know. I mean, I know that Target, I think they were struggling, and then they had that blackout that happened, and I think that they were like, oh shit, this is like a bad time for us for this to be happening. So, but that was over the DEI stuff, so it wasn't about tariffs.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I also don't see how it works. Like, blackout for one day, and like, okay, but most people aren't going to do it. And even if they did, like, does one day really affect the bottom line of Target? I don't know. I mean, like,
right.
Are they going to be like, oh,
right.
God, we can't recover
like
from
$1 billion company
March.
is worried about like $10 million. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only effective, like, these are bottom-up boycotts where people are like, hey, we don't like what you said, so we're going to boycott, have been Bud Light. Bud Light really did take a huge hit when it, and then MAGA was like, we're not drinking Bud Light anymore, and Kid Rock's like shooting Bud Light with a shotgun or whatever. That actually did change Bud Light. Like, Bud Light responded to that by
becoming MAGA.
Becoming MAGA.
But apparently that's who drinks Bud Light.
Stuff.
I mean, that's the thing. That's who drinks Bud Light.
Yeah, they're responding to their crowd. But now the second effective one is Tesla, and it's not even openly a boycott. It's just people are like, I'm not buying that dude's cars anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like nearly everywhere. People have just stopped buying them as much because they're just annoyed or, find him distasteful.
Right.
Yeah, when people normally are like, you know what, I'm not going to buy Twister the game because Twister's got many different color dots on it, and that's DEI or whatever. Like, that shit doesn't last for very long. Yeah,
boys go in between other boys' legs and stuff.
Gets my little boys get all wrapped up and tie it like a little pretzel together, and it's gay.
And then they turn transgender
and take pictures of them. Use AI.
Train an AI bot
to come in and cut off my son's penis and give him a vagina just because he's at a birthday party playing Twister. It totally makes sense. That has happened so much.
Yeah, no, it's true. That does happen. That's we have a problem that happens down our street a lot.
Yeah, pandemic, nothing.
I didn't really see. I didn't anticipate that direction that we just went in. It was a bit of a swerve.
So, yeah, today's ep happens to fall on the day after Earth Day. So that's why the ep is tentatively titled Earth Day. If you think of a better title, let us know. Put it in the comments.
Can we call it the day after Earth Day ep?
Oh, that's good. I like that. The day after Earth Day.
Day after Earth. That kind of sounds like it's going to be an apocalyptic episode, though.
We'll touch on that a little bit, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the world's on fire. I don't know. Yeah, you will touch on it. That's right.
You totally get off to dystopia. You and your partner just, oh, dude. Remember when we watched Armageddon? It's so fucking hot. Meteor's gonna blast the Earth. Oh, yeah.
I want to bang you like Linda Hamilton's skeleton evaporating atomic blast in Terminator 2.
That's very long for sex talk.
Specific.
But yeah, I guess it could work. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we ain't no one pump chump down here.
She's like, get to it.
She's like, okay.
Yeah.
Just finish already. Like, I'm ready to go to sleep.
You better hope you have SPF 5000 sunblock, because I'm going to fucking blast like nuclear all over you. Wait, what? Dude, what are you doing?
Right. It was good. I didn't even have to start it, but the dick jokes have begun. This is great.
I know.
Very on brand. Very on brand. So Earth Day. What is Earth Day? You guys know what Earth Day is about? Well, I'll tell you, boys. Back in 1969,
Oh, you got some backdrop?
yeah, peace activist John McConnell proposed to honor the Earth and the concept of peace at the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, which is a lot easier to say, which is a specialized agency of the United Nations, or the UN, also easier to say. So the first Earth Day was celebrated the following year on March 21st, 1970, and it has been celebrated every year since. It's now celebrated in 193 countries. Over 1 billion people are activated. And advertising phenom Julian Koenig coined the name Earth Day in a rare move of brilliance. Because, yeah, Earth Day.
We define that as brilliant. They're like, hey, we're going to have a day that celebrates the planet.
Right.
We need to pull in an ad exec. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm just spitballing here. Earth Day. And they're all like, yeah, I mean, obvious. Yeah, let's like play around with some other stuff. He's like, I guarantee you nothing else is going to beat Earth Day, okay?
Well, he actually proposed E-Day and also Environmental Day and Earth Day.
So he has just like a bunch of shit ideas, and then Earth Day's like, I guess, like versus all those other ones, it's better.
So April 22nd, which is Earth Day, is also it also happened to be his birthday, and he was like, so Earth Day kind of rhymes like with birthday, so that's my favorite. And the guy was like, sold, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's a genius. This guy's an ad genius. Yeah,
He already has his own song. This is perfect.
Happy Earth Day.
it's John Hamm and Mad Men, and it's this guy right after him.
No, Koenig actually worked in Madison Avenue. He was the one who coined the Think Small ad for Volkswagen, and he's heralded as a genius.
Wow.
But really, Earth Days, as well as environmental regulation and education, they're all a response to this Santa Barbara oil spill in 1969. So, like, somebody fucked up and the platform blew, and they tried to cap it. And when they did, it actually, like, blew the whole line out because they didn't cap it right. And so they thought they had plugged up the...
That sounds like my vasectomy. It comes up again. Yes.
And so, yeah, it spilled, like, between 3 and 4 million gallons of oil into the ocean and the channel of Santa Barbara. And like 10,000 birds and sea creatures died.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was pretty...
And
then one of the... There, I got my death in. I got this animal death.
So did Big Oil pay for Earth Day? Like, it's their creation?
No, they didn't exactly.
Okay, that wasn't them trying to clean up their mess by like, this is Earth Day.
Yeah,
no, I think it was more like the... so actually, like... They originally thought of it as like this they called it teach-ins, right? Like they did with the Vietnam War. They would go to these universities and educate kids about the Vietnam War. And they're like, let's do the same thing, but let's do it about, environmental protection and how we can, make a better planet or whatever. And I don't know what to call it. So let's hire Julian Koenig and Earth Day. But so the theme for this year's Earth Day, do you guys know what it was?
Mm-mm.
It's Our Power, Our Planet, inviting everyone around the globe to unite behind renewable energy and triple the global generation of clean electricity by 2030.
Yeah, that's going to happen. It's all, everything's heading that direction.
Seems like we've got the right people in charge. I did see something recently that like during the giant... freeze here in Texas a couple years ago where like 100 people literally froze to death, more than 100 people, because the grid failed and they still haven't fixed it. And the Ted Cruz flew to Cancun while we were all without power and water and freezing to death. Like part of Texas didn't, and it was the El Paso region, and all of the head idiots in charge were saying, yeah, it's like it's the solar energy's fault that like we didn't have enough power because the grid froze over and yada yada. And actually El Paso had power because they are not on the Texas grid, and so they were not impacted at all.
And wind, right? They have a ton of wind farms out there.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Our topic about Earth Day, songs about the Earth and why it's great. I was a Boy Scout growing up, and we went camping all the time, and we'd go to the lake, to the river, to the mountains. Like, I don't know, I always feel pretty at peace out in nature and enjoy it a lot. We have a little green belt that runs behind the house, and taking the kids out there and just sort of hiking is like, it's great for them because they get to do whatever, and like it's great for me because I'm like in nature and I like that. It re-energizes me. But yeah, Russ has got our first pick tonight. So why don't you tell us what your track is, what it means to you, and why you picked it?
Okay, so first pick tonight is called Land Sick by Chuck Ragan from the 2016 album The Flame and the Flood.
I found myself on mountains over blue sea, far above chaotic dwellings in the clouds to breathe. All I want is to cure this land sickness in me. All I need is food and water to set me free.
Dude, the vocal performance in that, like the veins in his forehead are about to explode.
Yeah.
No shit.
It's true. Man, I'll tell you, when we decided to do like this Earth Day episode, I was definitely looking for like a pro-Earth type song, something to kind of just speak on the beauty of Earth and whatnot. And it is hard to find one that has any kind of like pace to it. Like most of them are just like slow and like chill and tranquil. And I mean, it makes sense, but like I was like, man, I wanted something that had a little oomph behind it, and here we are. So Chuck Ragan is basically a rock and roll Renaissance man who comes from some pretty interesting roots. His dad was a pro golfer and his mom was a gospel singer. And he, like me, grew up in a Southern Baptist household. He's best known as the guitarist and vocalist for Hot Water Music. This is a pretty great punk band from Gainesville, Florida. They took a hiatus in 2005 with Chuck going full folk while the other members formed another punk band called The Draft. And then in 2007, they were like, hey, you know what? Let's get back together. And they've been on and off ever since. So kind of like Diener, Chuck's a fishing guide, right? He does like fly fishing. And so he often takes people out fishing in coordination with his tours. So he'll play a show, drive through the night to the next gig location, get up early, fish all day, then go play a show that night, and then kind of, rinse and repeat. So he kind of, I don't know, he sets up these tour dates with his fishing dates, I guess, and that's how he makes his living. His wife mentioned that he's always in motion and is just tireless, and that's why he loves being on the water, because the water's always in motion. There's a kind of a cool little documentary about, 11-minute short documentary about him being a fisherman and tour guide stuff called Land Sick. So if you're interested, Dixie will put that in the show notes for you. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on his website there. Yeah.
So Chuck wrote this album as the soundtrack for a rustic river navigating, natural resource scavenging survival quest video game called The Flame and the Flood. Okay. It's a mouthful. Chuck's longtime buddy, Scott Sinclair, who's been doing artwork for Hot Water Music forever, came to him with this video game idea. And Chuck's not a gamer, but after Scott told him about this girl and her dog traveling through these wild rivers, Chuck was like, oh yeah, this is totally my jam. And as I said before, he's this total outdoors guy who's always camping and fishing. So the whole survival theme just kind of clicked for him. And he started writing music while floating down rivers and thinking about the game's concept. So it was kind of like in nature, writing these nature songs for this nature-esque video game. And then the whole project became this really personal, meaningful collaboration. And instead of just churning out like a generic soundtrack, Chuck created this authentic musical journey that I think really captured the spirit of survival and connection. It's a pretty great album. There's definitely like instrumentals that go through it and stuff, but it's all kind of this feel. This is probably the fastest paced song on the album, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of it's a nice, like, if you're camping or you're going camping, like this is an awesome album to like listen to before you go out to like some kind of outdoors adventure, I think.
It sounds like you're gonna get out in the rapids and fucking crush it.
Well, this song, yes, but the rest of the album is pretty tranquil compared to this song. This is definitely like the fastest, but like you get an idea. Like
I'm definitely gonna put this on my like waterproof earbuds rapids remix.
yes. So, John Snodgrass, if you'll remember from the Fleas song with Frank Turner off the Pandemic episode, he guessed on one of the tracks called "Cover Me Gently." They all kind of dabble in each other's stuff.
They dabble in each other's stuff, dude.
Yes, I think so.
So fucking hot. Get over here. I'm going to dabble in your stuff. Not again, dude. I'm just trying to like go to bed. It was a long show tonight.
Get me in the morning. All right. Landsick and Chuck Ragan's nonstop movement kind of reminds me of shark diving. And we've talked about this before, but it was, a lot of constant traveling in early mornings and late nights. Sleep deprivation was the name of the game that time. But we also spent a lot of time talking about conservation. It was the shark divers, wish and hope to change perception of sharks and try to convert shark fishermen into like eco tour guides. We saw it with some of them. Some of them had like figured out how to take people out shark diving, or where to, they knew how to find the sharks. So then to like start taking people out there without killing the sharks to make the money that way. It worked. But then, we also saw it the other side of things too. I was out in Mexico with these fishermen in Holbox Island, which is kind of 2 hours away, like 2 hours outside of Cancun, a small little village.
It's where the whale sharks are, right?
Yeah, the whale sharks, right. And I ended up going out with these Mexican fishermen and film them, I guess, dragging in shark after shark from their lines and just like beating the shit out of them and cutting the hooks out of their mouth. And, it was pretty intense. As it turned out, because we were in such a little village in Mexico, there were very few cars there, and most people that had any kind of money at all had golf carts driving around. Otherwise, you just had to walk because there's no cars out there. And I was super careful not to drink the water, but my dumbass 25-year-old self used the tap water to wet my toothbrush.
Brush your teeth, yeah.
And so I got an awful case of Montezuma's Revenge. And this was like one of the few places we stayed for an extended period of time. Normally we were just traveling everywhere, but we were in this place for 9 days and I got sick on day 2.
Oh man.
Also, like the little house that we were staying in, it was like a room with a bath. It was a house that had one room and a bathroom in it. And it didn't have any beds. It just had hammocks, which I can't sleep in a hammock. Can you guys sleep in a hammock? I
can sleep in anything though, so it doesn't count.
I can't. I just slept on the floor because I couldn't figure out the hammock. Like I could not get comfortable. I don't sleep on my back.
If the hammock is high enough and you put your partner in it and they turn sideways, it's really great. It's like a sex swing.
Well, my partner wasn't with me.
Well, you do it with what you can, like
with a shark diver.
Come on, shark diver, get over here.
So there's like the room, the hammocks, and then like this one little bathroom that didn't work very well, right? Which is not great for me. Also in this area, there were no doctors. So there was no way to cure like my illness. And so I pretty much couldn't eat. And if I did, I had like a maximum of 45 minutes before there was like no stopping what was coming. It was awful.
Out of the front or the back?
The back. Oh, dude, I was a shitting machine.
Yeah.
Like I eat anything, and within 45 minutes, it was just like pouring out of me.
Nice.
It was awful.
Or yeah,
and
terrible.
So, that's day 2 of 9 days. So like, this is fantastic. So I wouldn't eat past 9, and I wouldn't eat anything until we got back from our dives, which was around 2. And if I knew we were going to be close to home, I would try to eat something. But like, if we were out and doing stuff, like I would just drink water. That's the only thing I could do. Anyway, so like the second to last night we were there, we had eaten something, and I was pretty close to like our little house, but I had, by my count, like 30 minutes or so left before like it all hit me. And sure enough, I got hit hard. I was like, oh my God. And like, so like I was close to the little hut that we were staying in. And I was like, okay, I probably have like a minute maybe to get in there and like take care of something. And this little place was like on the outside, like it was kind of like overlooked where the ocean was. So it was kind of a cool location, but it was like a shitty little Mexican village with shitty little houses or whatever. So I end up hauling ass to our little hut, and I go in, and one of the shark divers there, he's like, dude, the bathroom's clogged. Like, I guess he had like a Bud Light shit or something. Like, he clogged the bathroom, and it was disgusting. And like, I'm like not like a let me go use a really disgusting bathroom kind of guy. That just isn't me.
It's already full.
And he's like, no, dude, it's cool. Just shit on my shit. I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't do that. Sorry. And so I made an executive decision because like I was either about to shit myself or like anyway. So I just ran straight into the water. Right. I was like, fuck this. I ran into the water. Because like, oh, dude, my ass was about to release. And so I just like get in the water fully clothed. Like I just like drop trow,
just poured out
shit in the water. Cause like, it's just coming out.
I've never shit in the water before.
Yeah.
It's weird. Cause like it wants to like kind of go back up sometimes.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's kind of like an ocean enema in the middle of all that.
Does it help kind of lube things up though? Like you're just all wet down there, so it's.
You know what? I wasn't thinking about that.
Does it float up behind you?
Well, let me tell you. So okay,
because it's not solid, right? It's just like you're like an octopus. You just
put out
a cloud, right?
I mean, like, to be fair, I should have just dug a hole and like shit in like a hole and like in the sand and like covered it up. But, I wasn't thinking like that. So, I didn't shit my pants, which was awesome. But like, as I am shitting and it's coming out, it's not just like a little bit, it's like a bunch. And so like, the water comes to life. Like,
all the fish are probably coming to eat.
I apparently have created like a fish frenzy, which was really fucking weird. And so like, I'm standing in the middle of like a bait ball, essentially is what it feels like. And like, I'm not sure if there was just like a school of fish that were just happened to be swimming by, or they were just out there chilling, but whatever it was, they were certainly interested in me feeding them, I guess. They started running through my legs, and it was just like, and I'm not an outdoorsy guy at all. Like, I don't like that shit at all. And so like, I'm freaking out. I'm like spinning around in circles trying to get away from them as I'm shitting in the water, and the fish are just going crazy. And so I end up like having to run out of the water because like I can't do it anymore. And then like I'm like trying to pull my pants up, and I don't know. It was awful, dude. It was awful. But yeah, this song makes me think about shark diving, which always makes me think about the time that I got attacked by the fish as I was shitting in the ocean.
So Earth Day. Shitting in the ocean.
That's gross.
When I was working at the summer camp at the lake, dudes would shit in the water all the time because they'd be out there like lifeguarding the mile swim or whatever for 5 hours. And they're like, just watch out for the brown fish, to swim away from the brown fish.
So gross.
Because they wouldn't like, sometimes they would float, sometimes they would sink. We didn't ever have the diuretic explosion there, but I'll tell you, one time I was in Key West, I was on a sailing trip and we went snorkeling, and like I was tired and I'd fallen asleep in the boat. I went down in the below the boat and laid down to take a nap while they were driving us out to this place where they had some reef or whatever that we're gonna go snorkel at, and it was, I guess it was kind of choppy that day, and so like I wake up from my nap and I'm just like, oh God, like that is fucking, I don't feel great. Like, oh yeah, it's been kind of choppy. Did you take any Dramamine? I was like, no, I don't ever get seasick. It's not a thing. They're like, okay, well, we're here. It's cool. Just like get in the water. You'll be fine. I was like, I don't know. All right. Okay, cool. So I put on my snorkel and I'm swimming around and doing anything, looking at fish and whatnot. And I'm under the water. I don't know, maybe a wave comes over and it sends water down the tube. And I get salt water in my mouth, and I just like blow chunks all in the water. And it is like floating breakfast, little burritos or whatever everywhere. And like,
little burritos.
Same story, dude. Like a school of fish were like, oh, we want that burrito. And they just like, they swarmed. And all the other people that were snorkeling were like, "What's going on over there?" And I was like, I don't know."
And you just,
Yeah.
I just threw up.
you're just like kicking your little fins around, and there's just a cloud around you, and fish attacking you. That's crazy, guys. I feel like I've missed out on a part of the human experience. I've like never expelled I've peed in water like everybody else, which is also peeing in water is kind of weird because it's like you can't tell when you're finished because it's like you have to push it out more or something. I don't know. It's like become a hydraulic system somehow. But like it feels like you could just pee forever if you start peeing in water. But yeah, I've never expelled out of my anus or my mouth in water. And I'm happy about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, that was a great one, Russ. Thanks for kicking us off on our songs about Earth and pollution.
You know, man, I got back in town. My wife had called the doctor and gotten me like antibiotics or whatever. One fucking pill, and I was fine. I mean, I had to take the whole round, but it only took one to like cure me. You know, it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
He's like, the simple things in life, like healthcare is so important. Like don't take it from people. Give it to people.
No kidding. No, when I lived in Mexico, they were like, yeah, you should take like probiotics like a month before you go. So it was like acidophilus every day. And while I was there too, it was just like I had a whole supply, and we did not use the tap water to rinse our toothbrushes. We got that warning.
Well, man, yeah, I knew not to drink the water, and then I fucking didn't think about it.
All right, well, for our next pick, we've got Senor Jefe, Jeffro. What do you have for us for pick 2 tonight on our day after Earth Day?
I got for you good old Sam Beam and his band Iron and Wine from 2011. A little song called Tree by the River off of Kiss Each Other Clean.
Now I'm asleep in a car. I mean the world to a party mouth girl, a pretty pair of blue-eyed birds. Time isn't kind or unkind, you like to say, but I wonder to who what it is you say today.
Hell yeah, dude.
The way I approach this, the picks this week is I chose artists whose music are like suffused with nature. Like they write a lot of songs that have a lot of nature in them. So it's almost like paeans to earth in a way. As an example, this is Sam Beam from Iron and Wine. How many earth things do we have in the song? We got a tree, we've got a river, a dark canyon wall, a mare in a pasture, right? Sun in our faces. We got bones that we found frozen in the ground, thorns, roses, blue-eyed birds. Could you get more nature in a single fucking song than this son of a bitch right here?
No, that's pretty nature.
So he does like nature, how country artists do trucks and dirt roads and beer.
Yeah, kind of. But it also, there's something about Iron and Wine in general. I feel like it's like Civil War core. Like if you could go back to the Civil War, and it might just be because I'm reading a book about the Civil War right now called Killer Angels. But if you went back and you gave them Iron and Wine's music and even and then like just dressed him up like in the clothes of the time and like a felt or like a wool suit and with his big beard, and you're like, go play for the soldiers, they would fucking love it, right? I mean, it's all about like horses and like it's slow and the creek drank the cradle. Like it just sounds like Victoriana kind of shit, you know? It's like it's in another somehow it's of our time period, but it feels like it's in another time period, a slower one that was more in tune with nature. I feel like with Iron and Wine's music, even their name sounds like something from the 19th century. Iron and Wine, you know. But I've long been a fan of this dude and the band, and this song is pretty much like I'm convinced it took him 10 years to write this one. He was trying to write like a nostalgic song about his ex-girlfriend, but he didn't want it to sound too sappy or boring. But I think he nailed it.
Dude, it definitely has nostalgia written all over it. Like it is very nostalgic song. Like he nailed that for sure.
It's like 70s, like folk rock stuff, you know? It's
Oh yeah.
Could have been in Harold and Maude, the movie, this song.
Oh yeah.
Totally. I mean, this is a lot. I think this record's poppier than some of his other stuff, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is one of my wife's cold takes, is that she would rather sleep at home than go to a show of indie folk core.
Yeah. He could be Sam too. He could be real hit or miss. I like him ultimately, but he's a guy that's in tune with his own art, and he's poetic, and he doesn't like to fuck around and like goof off. That's not really his thing. And so I went to see him. He played before Geoff the Brotherhood one time at the Hangout Fest in Alabama, and I do not know whose idea that was.
Who built that together?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I also saw him another time at Austin City Limits, and at that one, he just goes, all right, hey, I'm Sam, and this is my band Iron and Wine. We play stuff that's a little bit quieter, so why don't you guys just shut the fuck up? Like that. And it was like, oh shit, dude. And everybody kind of like, they were all like a little miffed by it, but they also shut the fuck up. Like, it was an interesting approach. It was like, listen to our songs. But I feel like this song was like written with me in mind. It's got all of the stuff in a song that really hooks me. It's got backup vocals the entire way, which is something I love. Good backup vocals, and it's just like the entire song is backup vocals. And then it's got drippy, like, little, like, keyboard going through it the whole way. Real good melody, it's got it all. It's got it all for me.
Yeah, and you could strip it down to just him and the guitar, and I think it would still be a great song. Do you know how they got their name?
Iron and Wine?
Yeah, do you know how he picked it?
No.
So he was shooting some film, and in this general store, he found a dietary supplement named Beef, Iron, and Wine.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
Beef, Iron, and Wine.
Yeah.
He was shooting a film, is that what you said?
Yeah, I guess he's done some acting stuff.
Okay.
I'll tell you something else about Iron and Wine. You guys probably already know this, but it's definitely getting laid music. Like, this would be in my 5-disc changer when I'm trying to like bring a person into the room and make sweet love to them.
Yeah,
there would definitely be an Iron and Wine record ready to spin in there in case we needed to quiet it down a little bit for the makeout.
Well, so it was in, I guess, 2002 or 2003 that he did that cover of Such Great Heights for the
that's right,
Garden State movie,
for the Garden State soundtrack. And
that's right.
I think that's when I was first aware of him and the band, and then that the Shepherd's Dog record was just like huge, and I think it had a song on the Twilight soundtrack, and so again there's Dave at the festival saying, "You tweens, get out of my fucking show."
This is definitely his most successful record, because it was like, it charted in every country that they keep it.
Do you think it's because it's poppier? You guys were talking about how it's a poppier.
It is, yeah. Well, it's like they're a full band in this one. Like, the other ones were very much like him and an acoustic guitar for a lot of it.
His voice sounds different in this one than from what I think of Iron and Wine. Like, his voice from like the early 2000s, it was more like airy and whispery singing.
Exactly. Like, at the beginning, it's like, "Tell me, baby, tell me," like that, and it's like he's whisper singing, and in this one he's just full.
But he had like more voice behind this song than like the older stuff that I feel like it was.
Yeah, he's a great vocalist. Like, it's a great vocal performance, I think, this song. It's like,
oh yeah, no, for sure. I was just, the first time I heard it, when he picked it, I was like, oh wow, this is not what I was expecting coming from Iron and Wine. So
yeah.
It's cool. It's a pretty song.
So I think like that record was the release right after the Shepherd's Dog, which had great critical acclaim. I think Pitchfork put it at number 36 of their top 50 albums that year. And then the Twilight Saga like used this this acoustic version of that Flightless Bird American Mouth song that you would remember if I could sing it, but I can't. And so I think it was one of those things that people were anticipating it and definitely like went after it when it came through, because it was like 4 years later. But yeah. And then they released it as like a vinyl on Record Store Day on Black Friday, and so it was like super limited.
Marianne, do you remember? Come on, so good.
It was good. I love it.
Do you think she remembers the tree by the river, Marianne? Do you think they were hitting it out there? What's weird is he means the world to a potty mouth girl. That's fine. And then a pretty pair of blue-eyed birds. What does that mean? Like, does she have a pair of blue-eyed birds? And do birds have blue eyes? Like, what are we talking about in that second part?
Yeah, no, but it is like this interesting thing. I mean, lyrically, he's being so reflective of like who they were and where they are now. You know, he's like, I remember doing all these things with you and having all this stuff, and now I'm asleep in a car. And I mean the world to a potty mouth girl. And is that a positive or a negative? It feels like maybe
I think he might be. I think the pretty pair of blue-eyed birds are his daughters.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Now I'm thinking about it like it's like a bird as in girl. It kind of fits with the 70s feel, you know, calling people bird or whatever.
He's got a wife that they're like soulmates or whatever, and then I think they have 4 or 5 daughters. Like they're just all daughters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this stanza. I will read it. Time isn't kind or unkind, you like to say, but I wonder to who and what it is you're saying today.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was what she used to say to him. And now he just wonders what she's up to and what she's saying to whoever she's with now.
Remembering some good times and just curious where people are. No, it's good. It's a beautiful song.
Is the potty mouth girl his wife?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. He's talking about his wife and his daughters.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah, he's like thinking about them as he's obviously they're in a car together. I don't think they're like unhoused or anything. They're just in a car and he's asleep and, you know, he's got his wife and his daughters.
No, I like that. All right, well, that's a great pick, Jeffro. I love it a lot. I love Sam Beam. Some of my favorite records in my collection are his, and I'm gonna have to track this one down because I did not get it on that Black Friday sale. But let's give us a little break. Do a little pod swap. What do we say?
Pod swap.
Do you love music? Do you want to explore classic albums? If you answered yes, then check out Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy, and along with my co-host John, we rely on the patented random album generator to pick an album for us to review. At the top of each show, we have no idea what album we're going to be listening to. That's what keeps it really exciting. We dig real deep into these albums. So if this sounds interesting, come along with us on this journey, because you never know what you might find. We release a new episode every Tuesday morning. That's Polyphonic Press, and we're available on every podcast platform.
All right, check them out. Now back to 6 picks. Okay, so I'm third tonight, and the track that I've got for us coming out of Pod Swap is going to be a nice little track by Childish Gambino. So this song is also known as 42.26, as that's how it was tracked on the record of March 15th, 2020, which he released in like the day of the pandemic when everything shut down. That album was later reworked into the album Alta Vista. But this track was originally, it's the 10th track on that album, but it was originally released in the July of 2018 under the name Feels Like Summer. So let's give it a listen.
Man who made machines that want what they desire. Parents trying to tell the children, please slow down. Slow down. I know. I know you know my pain. Oh no.
think that's a summer song, not an Earth song, dude. Sorry.
Did you even listen to it?
No.
Okay.
Like, did I read all of the words of it?
No, did you just listen to any of the words?
I just heard them saying summer over and over.
Yeah.
And it's like hot. Each one's hotter than the last one or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'll give you a little backstory on it.
It's a great song.
Great song. So Childish Gambino is actually the hip hop performer name of Donald Glover, and I don't know if you.
No way, dude! Nobody knew that.
Right. So you may know this too, that he came up with Childish Gambino through the Wu-Tang Clan name generator. Are you aware of that?
What?
Do you remember that? The Wu-Tang Clan name generator?
No, was that a joke or?
Awesome. Punked. Got punked.
No, that's for real. That's for real.
You straight up don't know anything anymore.
So no. There was a thing in like 2002. I'll put I'll send you the link. But you put in your name, and it creates a Wu-Tang name for you. Let's see. I'll just do mine real quick.
Just should do all of ours.
Yeah, let's do all of ours.
So Dave, my last name is Rough Prophet, and Russ is Crazy Overlord. Amazing. And I'm gonna go Jeffro, and it says Violent Swami.
So he put his name in and got Childish Gambino.
Yeah. And I think you can do that. I think you could put in Donald Glover. Yep. And it comes up as Childish Gambino.
So what if you put Donald Trump? Is it like childish something else? I'm just curious.
If you put in Donald Trump, it comes back. Seriously, it comes out President Agent Orange.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So that's how the name Childish
awesome.
Gambino was created. And that's in and of itself pretty amazing that he just took this persona and is like, no, I'm gonna write rap music. I'm gonna write hip hop and fuck it. I'll just take this one, and that sounds pretty cool. And he's done a number of records, and they're very, very creative. I think he's one of those sort of mad geniuses that everything that he works on is just really, really impressive. He wrote a treatment for an episode of The Simpsons and sent it in, and they sent it over to Tina Fey, and she hired him to write for 30 Rock.
Yeah, but he was just a kid at NYU. He was still like just a student. And then like he came in and like he added like the young element to like the show. And yeah, it's amazing. Like, yeah, no, I think like that guy can probably do whatever he wants. Like if he can figure out how to keep making money, then like there's no stopping him, you know?
And then he did, a couple of movies. They did that movie Mystery Team, which is like they took it to Sundance, and
Atlanta is one of the best shows of the 21st century.
It's incredible. But so this track was written and produced by Donald Glover and his longtime collaborator producer, the 2-time Oscar-winning composer Ludwig Göransson, and it actually does cover a lot of current issues, Jeffro, lyrically.
With Earth?
With Earth, it talks about the world population, the number of climate-related issues that he talks about. It talks about the bee colonies dying.
Dude,
and
the air that kills the bees.
Oh, okay.
The air kills the bees, and now the birds don't sing. It's like we're losing us. There's not enough water. Deforestation, air pollution.
I'm sorry, it's a fake climate science song. I didn't realize that. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, yep. There we go.
It's climate hoax.
There's also a really interesting video that he did with this, which again goes to his brilliance. Okay, so pause on that. The record that he did called Because the Internet, he released with a short film and a 70-page script that like follows the character through. There's like scenes that are written in between the tracks, and it is just like really, really cool. But so back to this, he does a video for this, and it's this animated video where he's just walking down the street to his house, and like everybody in his neighborhood are these like bastions of hip hop. All these modern rappers, all these old school rappers. It's like Dre,
Kanye, Kid Cudi, right?
yeah, yeah. And like Kanye is wearing a MAGA hat and he's over crying in the corner, and Michelle Obama is comforting him. It's just like amazing.
Like, are they actually in the video?
No, it's like animated. It's like an animated video. It's
Animated video.
So it's got like Andre 3000 and Big Boy, but they're looking away from each other. They've got their backs to each other. So it's like, it's really funny. But it's also like, I think when it came out, this was 2018, and people thought, oh, he's leaving hip hop. He's walking away from rap. He's walking away from music. Because he just walks past everybody and then is like dreaming about stuff, and then he goes into his house. And everybody thought like, okay, he's going to announce a new record here. And then he didn't. And so like, oh, maybe he's leaving the scene or whatever. But we know he didn't. And really, what I've read and I agree with is that it's this commentary on the population's obsession with celebrity and how we focus on that instead of like the issues at hand. It's like we're ignoring all of the shit that is like destroying the earth and this world. And like, I remember when I heard it, I was naive and just really enjoyed the music of it and thought it was a cool, chill song. And it wasn't until like I got into the lyrics that I was like, oh wow, this is really depressing. And then he has that line, he's like, oh, I know you know how I feel, or something. What is it exactly? I want to get it right.
Can we stop talking about that for a second and get back to all the celebrities that are in the video? Because
I know you love a list. I know you love me getting on a list.
Isn't Martin Luther King and Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Right? Aren't they in there?
Yeah. And it's like all of the modern new rappers at one point are like depicted as children, like playing in the yard and like.
Yeah, and then when they get older, or the older ones are all in the like dark, like they're getting outshined by the younger generation.
Right. And like one of the old ones is like, get off my lawn kind of thing to the younger generation. But he says,
it's cool. I'm going to have to look at that.
Yeah. Dixie's going to put it in the show notes for us. Thanks, Dixie. But, I know you know that pain. It's like, it's parents trying to tell their children just slow down. Like, I don't know. I think there's an interesting commentary. Like in the first verse, he talks about men who made the machines that want what they decide. Like we're seeing that in our modern day and age, where all of the corporations are, they're doing what they want, what's best for them, what's best for their shareholders, and not like what's best for people and
or the planet. Yeah. And then you've got that ice cream, right? That's just melting as it gets hotter, and just like there's so many different layers in that video. It's awesome. The song, the video, it all works very well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he's genius. And like living in Texas, I went swimming the week of spring break in March, and we kept going back. It was cold, but like we got out and dried off, and the sun was hot enough, and people warmed up, and it was fun, and we had a good time. The kids didn't care. Like they just will sit in the water and their teeth will chatter. But yeah, it's like it's hot. It's getting hotter. It's not getting cooler.
Dude, my son's lips turned purple. I'm like, why don't you come out? That's fine.
I'm fine. I'm having
don't
fun.
worry about it.
Dude, you look like you go having hypothermia. Like, come on out. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do hear that he's not doing any more Childish Gambino stuff, that all of his stuff is just be Donald Glover stuff in the future. But he definitely was on a tour last year that he canceled for some medical concerns, and he had to have surgery or whatnot, which was a huge bummer because you had
tickets,
great seats to that show. I don't know. He's a genius. There's a ton of examples of it. It's good. I think we do need to be paying attention and doing things differently so that our children don't inherit a flaming ball of fire. So break down your boxes, recycle. It's really, I don't know.
And carry your bags to the grocery store, your own bags to the grocery store. That's going to save the environment.
Save the earth. Which is such bullshit because it's like,
it is bullshit.
It's all such bullshit. Like every little bit helps, but really it's the giant corporations that need to be doing things differently, that need to like make a really, really big impact,
Right.
Like,
once again, it's like they put it all on the backs of the average person,
It has to be a top-down thing. It's not gonna. Yeah, it doesn't. What we do individually matters very little.
You add all of us together and we're not dumping thousands and millions of gallons of like toxic waste in different areas. You know, like the people are not doing that.
Well, you guys are dumping toxic waste into our waters. I'm not, but the two of you are dumping it. No, you're dumping diarrhea and vomit all over our waterways.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, we're just giving back to nature.
Yeah, we're feeding the planet.
Yeah.
Dude, we're part of the food chain. Like, we feed the fish and then we eat the fish. It's fine.
Yeah. It's a circle of life. Donald Glover actually did the voice of Simba in the new Lion King remake.
You planned that. You want it. You were like, do the circle of life thing at some point. Fit it in.
Next, we're going to hand the microphone off to Russ for pick number 4. What do you got for me, Russ?
All right. Pick number 4 is called Bully for You by Hotel Mira off the 2016 album Divorce.
Subtract her voice, cause she's her mother's daughter. Shaking hands and drinking Arnold Palmer's. Bully for you, baby girl. Brought into a dying world. Brought in, tell the aliens. The earth looks greener when you squint. If only she was born a son. If only we could take the hands.
Okay, so the band is from Vancouver. They formed in 2010 when they were originally Japanese Girls.
That was the name of the band, was Japanese Girls?
The name of the band was Japanese Girls, but the spelling is like a disavowalment, so it's like JPNSGRLS. They actually rebranded in 2018, so when this song came out, they were still Japanese Girls. The band gained recognition in 2015 when they were nominated for the Sirius XM Canada Independent Music Award for Emerging Artists of the Year. So, do you listen to that, Geoff?
Yeah, and I love awards that have just really, really long titles. So it's one of my favorite
All right,
ones.
so, keeping on with Dave's songs about climate change, I guess you have these lyrics where it's talking about, brought into a dying world, run and tell the aliens the earth looks greener if you squint, right? And so, I feel like these lyrics pretty much just capture how certain people are basically squinting at reality and calling it green, right? It's like they're looking at a burning planet and saying, nah, everything's fine. The whole earth looks greener when you squint, I feel like that's the current climate strategy. So they're so invested in fossil fuel money and their whole drill baby drill mentality that they'd rather gaslight themselves than everyone else than admit that, we're in a climate crisis. And just like Geoff was saying earlier, it's a top-down problem, but what are you gonna do? We're gonna do like a boycott the gas station on a Friday. I mean, how do you survive? You don't. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Okay, I'm not gonna buy gas anymore. I'm gonna buy a Tesla. It's tough. I don't know which way to go there.
Well, and the fallacy there is just like the amount of emissions it takes to get the batteries and import the things to the factories or whatever. Like that if you're in a Tesla and you get into an accident, the first responders, they can't get in there to help you because the batteries can it's super dangerous, I guess. Yeah, I was reading a story about some kid who had to watch his 3 friends that burned to death in the car because he couldn't open the door. The door wouldn't open. And it caught on fire. And they all died.
Yeah, because I guess it's like a digital door or something, or it's
all electronic. Yeah.
Can you just manually open it? Yeah, that's insane.
No, so I when the Teslas first came out, in 2014, 2013, around that time, there was a guy I knew that had one. He'd got the first S model, and that car, it was crazy because everything had an actuator, every little bit, you push a button and doors would open and all that stuff, but there's no real mechanical stuff, so they can't just open the door, or at least you couldn't back then. I don't know if you can now, but maybe not. I don't know. Still, you got these people just telling themselves these fairy tales about how climate change isn't real, and it's they're waiting for aliens to show up and validate their completely bonkers worldview instead of facing scientific reality, which is like, it seems crazy, but like go back to like flat Earth and whatnot. Like it's like those people are out there, and you got the idea of the dying world, and it feels like a perfect metaphor for like the head in the sand approach to global warming. So Did you guys see that thing that came out a couple of months ago with the scientists that were doing the models? They conducted simulations to see how long extraterrestrial civilizations could survive if they kept up similar rates of growing energy consumption, like to our own, trying to see if any modern civilization on any planet could survive more than 1,000 years, and they couldn't because too much heat was produced, and once the society got to like a modern age, kind of like where we are, they had about 1,000 years before it got too hot and everybody died.
You think we've got 1,000 years left?
They ran some kind of model and they tried all kinds of different things, and every which way they played it, like didn't matter what they did, none of them could make it 1,000.
So you're saying we got 1,000 years left? That's pretty cool. I mean, I was thinking 50 at max, and
well, I mean, I'm sure it's not pretty for a long, long time. I'm sure those last 500 are going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's just when everything dies out.
got it.
There's that. I also like how this song is chock full of social commentary. I mean, the song, while referencing climate change, is definitely a protest song about the lack of gender equality.
I care a lot about gender equality. Like, redheads should be treated just like everybody else.
Jesus.
I've always said that.
Yeah, that whole bit about Carrot Top and Danny Elfman.
Carrot Top and Danny Elfman. With that, you got like these lyrics in the song are brutal. It's like a raw, unfiltered look at how deeply messed up gender inequality is. You get the whole if she was only born a son, like repeated throughout, that generations, that's like generations of systemic devaluation of women right there. It's saying women are constantly measured against a male standard, like being born female is, automatically a disadvantage. And then you got like the line, subtract her voice because she's her mother's daughter. And that hits hard, man. It's like basically about how women's voices are literally erased, how they're taught to be smaller, to take up less space. You got this, the song seems to be calling out this whole culture of silencing women where their worth is constantly negotiated by men. And then you've got like the part about like, she says, hold me and tell me what you like about me, right? And that's fucking heartbreaking. I feel like it's showing how women are conditioned to seek validation, to constantly prove their value. Like they're always performing for someone else's approval. And the song's just about how deeply women are still fighting just to be seen as fully human. My daughter just turned 10, and like I know she has an uphill battle in front of her. And even though bully for you means good for you, or like it's kind of an admiration, like I feel like I should just I need to take the title literal and keep talking about this and keep fighting for equality and be an actual bully for my baby girl. Like I think that is like the best way to help her forge ahead, is like to be a male who is, being like, no, like you are just as important.
Yeah, no, I mean, that last stanza or whatnot, where he's saying, if only Anne had born a son, she'd still have her head.
Oh yeah, Anne Boleyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. She still have a head. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but like that's what they're dealing with day in, day out, man. And and like you would think progress would be happening, but then it feels like, I mean, definitely pumped the brakes on that a couple of years ago. And
no, it's tough, man. Like I've got 2 daughters, right? So I got double the action on that, and like they're great. I love them. I think everyone should have all daughters. We are, constantly preparing them for a world that has been dismissive, and will try to blame other people's bullshit on, that's just how things are. I'd say something to my kids like, I don't care what they said to you. Like, that's just wrong. That's patently wrong. That's a lie. That isn't true. Like, try to make sure that they see when something is very obviously called out against them, that they don't have to believe it, that they don't have to change themselves to be somebody else's version. Right. I was like, look, you are you. And
try to teach them this is your worth. You are worth so much. And like, just because this person says something doesn't mean that like they can't take it from you. And like, it doesn't mean that they're right. Exactly. They're lying. They don't know what they're talking about.
We're very pro sex and pro like equality there. Like,
Yeah, we know. We know about that.
all I'm saying is that it's been forever too
Sick.
long that like dudes can go and bang every cheerleader on the team and it's cool. But if she has more than one boyfriend, she's a hooker. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. And it's just, that there was a whole thing I saw just the other day where like Trump was calling out this trans woman who had won this 800-mile bike race where you like run for 800 miles. You ride for 800 miles and you carry your bike it's like run and ride your bike and carry your bike for 800 miles. And this woman finished it 5 hours faster than the record. He's like, so, I mean, that seems like a lot. That's kind of a big deal. Like this trans people in women's sports, trans women in women's sports it's bad. And, but he didn't acknowledge that it's not a gendered race. It's like men and women compete in this race. And like the record that she beat was set by a man who had beaten a woman before that. Like it's not the first time the woman held the record. And it's just like, let's cherry pick the thing that we want to do to run our agenda and just be fucking wrong about it. It's
but it
just
doesn't matter because no one's looking it up. They're just like, oh yeah, look at that.
Good God, what a shit show. Yeah, I think it's important that we find a world that has space for everybody, and part of that is taking care of the earth so that we have water to give everybody to drink and grow food. And there's another thing I read about like how the middle of the earth, like the equator up to whatever parallel is going to be so hot you won't be able to grow food there in the next 30 years. So like Texas included, right? So all of the dreams of retiring in Mexico, you can, I guess, still do that, but you're going to burn to death and have no food. So that's pretty cool.
Let's take a break and chew the fat. Play that motherfucker.
Geoff, Russ, and Dave in the motherfucking chat, chewing the fat on stuff weird and whack.
Chewing the Fat today is brought to us by Drillbit Tyler Personal Protective Services. Are you feeling anxious about mean kids in middle or high school? Give Drillbit Tyler a call and get the help you need today. He may be a full-grown man, but he's not afraid to kick a kid's ass. So put a stop to the swirlies, hang on to your lunch money, and get the protection from bullies and their bullshit, acting out their own insecurities by giving Drillbit Tyler Personal Protective Services a call today. Jesus, that is some copy, Dixie. Killing me over here. Put 6 picks in the coupon code for a free consultation. Great. I don't know where you find these people, but thanks a lot. Thanks, Drillbit. Hopefully there aren't any middle schoolers listening to our podcast at the moment, but maybe there's some parents out there ready to fuck up some shitty kids. All right, let's keep going.
Wait, so does he get to go into the school with them?
Hey, they have a free, free consultation. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. Just 6 picks in the coupon code.
Maybe he just parks outside the school and waits for them to come out to walk home, and he just like mugs them on the way home.
Or he just like punches them in the stomach like Woody Harrelson in True Detective and just beats up kids and then has to go vomit because he's sick of himself. It can't be a fun job. It must pay well. It must pay well.
Hey, Dave. So tell us about that teacher that got busted with all the child porn on their computer.
No, it's like he was a long-term sub last year, I guess, and then like they offered a program where you can get your teaching certificate while you're teaching, so they're going to class.
He's not even a proper sleeper agent. Like he was in training when he decided to do all this.
Yeah. Well, he had like hundreds of thousands of images like on his computer, not of his kids.
Hundreds of thousands?
That's what the police report said, yeah. Hundreds of thousands of images. So he was like a distributor. He was like, yeah.
Oh my God. How much? Wait, he's a distributor? Like he's selling?
He's selling, yeah, or buying or collecting, or I don't know. And so it's like these kids.
So he was taking pictures of the students and then like AIing them and then like selling them. So like
The police say that he didn't do that, but like, oh my God, yeah, that's definitely what happened. Like, there's kids in 5th grade who have like AI porn made with them, and like it's on the internet forever. Like, you can't pull it back.
oh, that is sickening. Ugh.
They go to middle school and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's the kid who's got their face put on porn. Like, oh, well, let's go find it. Oh yeah, da da da. And then it's just like, what a terrible middle school experience.
I've heard confirmed that people like our pedo talk more than about anything else. That's why we're getting. That's why MAGA politicians are coming and trying to get on the podcast.
No shit.
Good God.
Dude, so tell me the story. Tell me the whole.
Okay, let me read this email. I'm gonna read this email to you. Okay, here it is.
Yes,
Let me
please.
pull it up. It says, hi there. Got your email through Podchaser. I love laughing and creating a lighthearted conversation with podcast hosts. Would love to join you to playfully debate current events. Business background in psychology, BA from the U of Minnesota, and mother. Candidate in 2024 for Minnesota County Board and will be running for Minnesota statewide office in 2026. Was recently in a viral video and just want to have fun, laugh, play, and do good.
Was recently in a viral video, and I like having fun.
So did you find
Dude,
So she sent the video where
That's
she was
such a
working. She was
generic-
working in a like a pizza food truck, and some dude's like, "Hey, I need you to make me 1,000 pizzas so I can go feed the homeless, and then I'll pay you." And she's like, "Okay, cool." So they make 1,000 pizzas. They hand them out, and he's like, "All right, how much do I owe you?" And she's like, "Oh, you don't owe me anything. It's fine. It's fine." It's totally fucking staged. It looks like. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But she also was guilty of throwing a box of tarantulas down the stairs
Yes.
at her roommate because her roommate.
Oh, yeah. She claimed her roommate was squatting. So she threw the tarantulas at her and apparently would sing gospel music at all hours of the night or Christian music at all hours of the night to like torment her.
Who hasn't done that though? Honestly, like who hasn't? I call it Aretha-ing somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Aretha you.
Yeah. We call it Mavis at my house. That's a Mavis run.
Oh, Mavising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my response was, "Hey, Marissa, we are definitely not the podcast for you." Good luck.
Yeah. See you around, douchebag.
We'll get Dixie to put a clip of the Inside Edition segment on her in the show notes because it's it's kind of crazy.
And now back to Six Picks Music Club.
Pick number 5 tonight is coming back to me. And for this one, we've got a track by Bob Marley, and it is Sun is Shining off of the album Kaya. So let's give it a play. Yeah, so when I was picking this second song, I had a couple of thoughts. I really wanted to do a Polyphonic Spree song off of that first record. There's a lot of sun imagery there, and it's just so much of that record is like a concept record where their first record where it transitions from one song to the next, and I think you really have to hear it in all of its context to appreciate it in that way.
Yeah, we'll have to save that for our heliocentrism pod.
Yeah, for sure. But this track is something that kind of pulls me into I wouldn't say that I'm a religious person. I would say that I have spirituality. I feel most connected to things when I'm out in nature and I remember going snowboarding one time and I was at the ridge at the Continental Divide, looking down at this unmarked trail and thinking, holy shit, like what is this? This is insane. Like I can't believe that this is an Earth that exists, and like I'm here with nobody else. I was up there by myself, and which is not a great thing to do when you are skiing or snowboarding backcountry that has unmarked trails. So always take a buddy. But I was the only one brave enough to go, so I guess fuck them. It also makes me think about sort of this idea of the pale blue dot that the Voyager 1 spacecraft took back in 1990. As it was getting to the edge of the universe, like all these scientists, including Carl Sagan, said, let's turn that baby around and take pictures of the planets before we can lose contact with it. And from a distance of 3.7 billion miles, they took this picture of the Earth, and it is just a tiny pale blue dot amongst a galaxy of stars. And like, I think the enormity of that is something that I really appreciate in this idea of like understanding our significance in the world and like where we fit. And I think this song in particular highlights this idea of, how lucky we are to have each day, how lucky we are to have this moment. And like, we need to not take it for granted. We need to appreciate it. And, it's everything from a song that could be a pitch for a board of tourism campaign to go visit Jamaica. I mean, it's easygoing, it's relaxing, it's, everybody's got their feet in the sand and they got a twisted spliff in their lip and they're just having a grand old time. It's Jamaica. But really, it's like this amazing, incredible prayer, to thanking Jah and just having that reflection of, we're in this moment and it's special. And, I'm a rainbow too. So the track was originally produced by Lee Scratch Perry. He and Bobby put it together for this album that Lee Perry was doing called Soul Revolution Part 2. And then they put it again on another album in 1973 called African Herbsman. But this version that we just listened to is from the 1978 album Kaya, which he re-recorded. I actually didn't discover Lee Perry until the Beastie Boys released their 1998 Hello Nasty record, which featured him on the track Dr. Lee PhD. The whole record of Kaya is really great, and this is just such a beautiful song in it. I don't know. There's a lot of Bob Marley that travels across a couple of different aspects. This is a more of an easygoing record. There's Exodus. There's the revolutionary stuff, and I think this is one of those songs that's really sort of true to who Bob Marley was.
Yeah, just like the positivity and like the inspiring joy and movement, right?
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget that without Barbara Howard Phillips, Bob Marley would not be Bob Marley.
Also,
what is that? What does that mean?
Oh, former librarian Barbara Howard Phillips, mentor to Albino Brown.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ.
Also on this album is This Love and Satisfy My Soul. So it's a great record. And
but the song it's a beautiful
copy.
song. I like it, and I think it's it really does just kind of show the beauty of nature, and it's particularly the sun, which I think it kind of symbolizes resilience and renewal, which is kind of great. Talking about like embrace each new day's opportunities and things like that.
Yeah.
I do love the positivity of Bob Marley. Like, he does really just know how to thread that needle pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's quite the antithesis of like Rage Against the Machine. Like you would not put them on the same playlist most likely.
It's just two different speeds completely.
They don't necessarily fit together.
And just like tone and
yeah. Well, there's something that's like kind of cool. Aston Bear is the dude who does the bass line through it. It's great because it's like it just gives there's like space and it in between like the notes there's this room to just sort of appreciate what else is going on, and it's just like,
oh, that's an interesting take. I like that.
It's not an overly instrumented song, but it's like you have all of these moments to appreciate throughout, and I think the bass and the drums have a lot to do with that, because it's just sort of like, it's kind of there, and it's like you've got this chorus in the background, all these vocalists that are singing along with Bob, and it's it's just a real pretty song.
I like the use of the days of the week in the song too, in the chorus.
Yeah.
And again, just like talking about renewal and emphasizing honesty and just like transparency and fresh starts. Like, I don't know, it's cool. It's a cool song.
Yeah, no, like every day is a new day. Like the morning gathers a rainbow. I'm a rainbow too. It's like it happens. Like
Yeah, unity and diversity, man.
it'll happen tomorrow. Like Wednesday morning, Friday morning, here I am. And I would just want you to know that where I stand on it. Yeah, it's great. All right, so that's pick number 5. And closing us out tonight is Mr. Jeffro with pick 6, the 6th pick of 6 Picks Music Club, titular tit pick. The tit pick. Jeffro, what do you got for us, buddy?
I got a song written by Henry John Duschendorf, known to you as Sunshine on My Shoulder, John fucking Denver. This is Take Me Home, Country Road from 1971.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
As far as I can tell, John Denver never actually lived in West Virginia,
And I don't think the song was actually written about West Virginia.
but it is now one of the 4 official state songs of West Virginia,
Right.
which includes
2014. 2014 it became a state song. Yeah.
the West Virginia Hills by Henry Everett Engel, which you all know and love from 1963. Then also This Is My West Virginia by Iris Bell. And then, there's another one that's J.D. Vance is a Cunt.
No, it should be called JD Vance's Cunt.
J.D. Vance's Cunt. No, I misread it. That
His
is what
couch
it's called.
cunt. It's a couch cunt.
And I think what I'm seeing here is if you just write any song that has West Virginia anywhere in the lyrics, because nobody gives a shit, then it's got to be one of our state
That's
songs.
awesome. Only 4 songs in the history of the world have mentioned West Virginia in them, and they're all state songs.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
There's the list of state songs is a fun thing to review. For example, Tennessee has, by my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 state songs, including Steve Earle's Copperhead Road is one of them. So he's like, put Copperhead Road on there, god damn it. And they're like, okay, Jesus. Does that even take place in Tennessee? I don't care. My daddy loved it. His daddy loved it. I love it. Put it on there.
I actually got a copy of that vinyl, the original pressing at a record store in Nashville.
Oh, I guess, yeah. So maybe so.
So
John Denver's an interesting dude. He his dad was a military man and a pilot, and he was kind of he was a stern military man. So Denver didn't get a lot of love from his dad. Like I mentioned before, his actual name is Duschendorf. But he became a great folk artist and singer in the late 60s, and he's just a very nature-oriented songwriter with a lot of songs about things like Rocky Mountain High and Thank God I'm a Country Boy and Sunshine on My Shoulders. These are all, kind of his Americana and nature-loving hits that he wrote as a great and very loved and beloved folk artist. He's just a sweet guy.
what a great bit of forecasting on his part to see way ahead of the times and know that marijuana was going to be a Colorado thing.
Oh, Rocky Mountain High. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
That's the joke. Yep, nailed it.
Yeah. Nailed it. It's weird to think like the guy, so he was a huge star in the 70s and he died in 1997 in a plane crash, and he was only 53 when he died. He was a young star and a young man still when he passed away. He crashed a plane that was he was a very skilled expert pilot. That had thousands of hours flying, but he was flying a plane that you build in your garage, a kit plane.
Oh God.
And he had just got it, and he was doing some, like landings and takeoffs, practicing, and then crashed into Monterey Bay. But he, that's just on the list of things I'm never going to do is fly in or fly myself in a plane that you assemble on your own in the garage. Yeah, that's out for me.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Add it to never go in a submarine as well. Yeah. No submarines, no self-built planes or helicopters.
I'd go on a submarine. I'd go on a submarine that was like one of like the American submarines that are like
the like
real deal.
Big Red October giant one.
He's saying about the one that you build in your garage.
No, yeah, like the homemade submarine. No, like the ones that they were like the Civil War submarines. Have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah.
They actually had submarines in like the rivers and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts.
I built one out of Legos for a school project one time.
Oh my God. It's just crazy. They had no light, man. They had no light.
Yeah.
Like they're pedaling it.
Yep.
It's just, what the fuck are you doing, dude? It's so scary.
They got to sneak up on those rebs, man.
Was it Confederate or Union that had the submarines?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was maybe both. Probably the Union, I imagine. Dave, do you remember from your special project?
No, I was in elementary school, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's crazy shit. Anyway, John Denver, despite having his troubled childhood under the yoke of a stern father, grew up to be a smiley, happy dude that was friends with Jim Henson and went on the Muppet Show all the time and was just, I think, universally loved. Are those people still out there now? Like, does anybody ever say anything bad about John Denver? Like, maybe you don't really like the music that much, but nobody was like, you know who's a real scumbag?
Ooh.
Uh-oh. What, you got some dirt?
He was a wife beater and a bad drunk.
He was a bad drunk. I did read that.
Yeah, but also a wife beater and apparently a hypocrite.
Oh, no. He was married to his first wife, Annie, at the time, and before I knew it, my hands were around her throat. Then he took a chainsaw to their furniture, lopping bits off.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Country road, take me home.
Yeah, I would say that there are probably plenty of people who are like, John Denver's a piece of shit. And his song is about how he's just fucking with her and doing terrible things.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I did not know that about John Denver.
Yeah, geez, dude.
Don't meet your heroes, I guess.
And it says, I'm now reading some blog somebody wrote about his memoir, and it goes, John Denver, ... kind of a creep. We still love his music, but otherwise think...
You know those the subreddit of watch them die inside or whatever? This is Jeff's face right now. Is like, hero is like, fuck this guy. He's dying inside. It's funny. Poor Jeff Rowe.
Oh, dude. How about this instance where Annie, his former wife, cut some shrub oaks from their Aspen property while John is away, and he feels so slighted that he returns with a power saw, and after nearly choking her in the kitchen, proceeds to saw some of her favorite furniture in half.
That's why he cut the furniture in half?
And then he actually wrote about it later. Later, I cringed. What if the story got out? And I cringed too in self-realization. I hadn't thought myself capable of that kind of violence. But otherwise, I felt purged. I'd never been so hurt or angry in my life. It's about a guy that loves nature so much that he'll beat up his wife about it. So there you go. Earth Day. Yeah. Yay, Earth Day, everybody.
Yay, Earth Day.
Sean M. Haney of All Music noted that the song, Annie's song, is a ever so romantic tearjerker. It's one of Denver's finest achievements, he says. It's a fine love song. So, yeah, turning lemons into lemonade, I guess, there. So, you've got 2 folk songs tonight, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did this one also go to number 2 on the Billboard Top 100?
I think you're right about that. So, but the other song itself didn't go to number 2. It was the album that went to number 2.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
And
that
this
checks
is
out.
the song. But yeah, these are
Heard.
These are folk experiences that flew pretty close to the sun.
So, this was originally written by Taffy Nevert and her husband, Bill Danoff.
No.
Yeah.
Why is that significant in the least bit?
Well, because they were writing it together and they were going to sell it to Johnny Cash.
The initial inspiration came from a drive in Maryland.
Right.
And they're like, Maryland. And they're like, that is a word.
Land of rivers. Come on.
Maryland, mountain mama. Damn it. We need a different, we need 3,
Something
we
to
need
end
4 syllables.
with an A. It needs to end with an A.
By the way, this song, dude.
Texarkana.
Texarkana. This song, karaoke-wise, I didn't really give 2 shits about John Denver songs until I saw 2 German people sing this in karaoke in a VFW in Minneapolis, and it was so badass. Like, they were so into it, and I was like, this song, there's something about this song is pretty good. Like, I kind of like this song. What a chorus on that thing.
It's fantastic.
But they were just like singing it to each other, and they're just like, West Virginia, like, take me home, like. And these are like thick German accent speaking people.
And then then the one dude grabs her by the neck and starts squeezing.
Yeah,
in the
and
middle
he
of the
starts
song.
just screaming at her in German. So it sounded like, which always sounds like Hitler. It was scary. It turned into a scary thing. But yeah, it was.
But
like,
I still
while they were
thought the
singing,
song
it
is
was
good. Yeah.
But they were staying true to the source material,
Yeah.
I guess.
He's like, Scheiße, you fucked it up.
So John Denver
nothing
actually
like good jokes about domestic
John Denver
abuse.
actually gets a writing credit on the Wyclef Jean track. It Doesn't Matter, that also features The Rock, because this song is sampled in that.
Oh man, that's weird.
It is weird. That's a weird record.
But yeah, man, it's about mountains. It's about country roads. Like, this is Americana stuff. Sometimes when we're just plumbing the depths on how much anxiety we can pile into our brains from all of the crazy fire hose of bullshit that we're subjected to every day. I like to think back, like, when I was a kid and we would go like camping in Arkansas, and how promising America felt at the time. Like, it was just because it's about like it's a beautiful country. Like, there's just beautiful parts of it, and you can go up onto the unmarked trail and go like, I'm gonna go fucking snowboard this shit. How beautiful is this? Or you can walk out on the Appalachian Trail, or you can go float the river in Green, Texas, or you can go out into the desert, and or you could go out into the salt flats in South Dakota, or like, there's just so much awesome shit, and it is a country that has so much different types of earth. And God, if we could just get people to stop being fucking cunts to each other and appreciate what they have and not fuck it up, that'd be pretty great,
Say it louder for the people in the back, man. I'm on board with you. Well, that is going to do it for us this week, listener. It's always great to have you in here. We're going to sign it off. But before we get out of here, we are going to check the mailbag, because, again, if you send us an email, we will read it on the show. And we have one from Luke, not Lake. Lake in Nevada would be interesting. But this is Luke in Nevada, who writes, Well, who died this week? I swear Dave must be picking all these guests because each one of them has a dead person close to them. I don't trust that dude, and you guys shouldn't either. Also, Jeffro, that's Mike D. That's married to Kathleen Hannah, PhD my ass.
I know, dude. You're right.
My track you guys probably haven't heard is Man Made of Meat by the Viagra Boys. Give it a spin.
Hell yeah, dude. Viagra Boys have a new single out. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's quality. Thanks, Luke. I have heard that one, but it's we're gonna play it as we bang out the door here today. And listener, if you didn't plant a tree yesterday, then maybe you should today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time, that's today. We'll see you every other Wednesday. Until then, play it loud and just keep jamming. This episode of Six Picks Music Club was produced by Buffettes Nuts. Edited by Anita Bartonhouse. With special thanks to Dixie Rex.
Everything that I